Hi there, and thanks for tuning in for another round of Inside F&M Wrestling. I'm Brad Weltman here for GoDiplomats.com, joined by Franklin Marshall head wrestling coach Mike Rogers. Mike, thanks for sitting down here with us. And then we've got special guest 184-pounder Anthony Mancini here with us, so we appreciate you having taken the time out to sit down here with us today, too. So, Mike, last week you had number 8 Lehigh come here to the Mazer Center on Saturday. It was a tough match. Your team actually had a 6-5 lead heading into 149. You had a pair of decisions from Scott Stevens and Rick Durso. They looked pretty good. Just kind of recap that match a little bit for us, who kind of stood out.
Yeah, obviously those two wrestled really well. Scott coming back in double overtime and winning it. That shows a lot of composure to win matches in double overtime. So he had a great match, and then Rick wrestling Cruz. That was a big match for him and for the conference. Those two wrestled tough, and but they're ranked 8th in the country for a reason. They're a tough team. They're even their backups are solid guys. So it was just good for us to wrestle that level of competition. Again, like I said before, these are teams that we're going to see in our conference. So you can't hide from them. You can't run from them. You got to see them. So I think every time our guys wrestle opponent every time they go back out there, do a little bit better. So the hope is, regardless of the outcome of the individual matches, that if they see them again in conference or wherever, that we'll make the adjustments. And if it's a loss, we'll cut into that loss. And if it's a close match, maybe we can flip that, and turn that into a win. And it's all just a learning process. I give Lehigh a lot of credit. They did a good job of converting takedowns into back points. And that's one thing that's critical for those top-notch guys. When they take down, they look for opportunities, and we relaxed a little bit. If we did get taken down, we kind of relaxed or paused, and a 2-point takedown turned into either a 4 or 6 point point difference right away. And that's a tough hole to dig out of. But again, the hope is that the experience is going to make us tougher, stronger team, and just keep moving forward and focus on this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, and then also on Saturday, you had some wrestlers out at Millersville competing in the Shorty Hitchcock Classic. Patty Quinlan looked pretty good over the weekend. He went 3-2. That's a pretty tough 141-pound bracket that he was competing in. He picked up 2 pins. One of them was a Virginia redshirt, who's a 2-time PA state champion. So, you were here with the team at Lehigh. You had some coaches out there. What did you hear about his performance and how he's looking so far?
That was good. Actually, I was over at the Millersville in the morning before our match and got to watch a couple guys wrestle. And I think our guys are doing well. Those guys are getting mat time in, and Patty looks really good. I mean, he was the hope is that he was going to be at 133 and compete there, but weight wise, he moved up to 141. I think he feels a little bit better. So he's and Patty's dangerous. He can put anyone to their back. So and that was a good win from him over the kid, that redshirt from Virginia. And I think that's given us a lot more confidence, giving him some of the stuff that we've been working on, and we're looking already him in the future. So he's backing up Rick right now, and so. We hopefully Rick stays healthy throughout, but we have a good option there if something happens. But we're looking at Patty's future, so going, already plotting out this summer, going into next year, and those wins are a good indication of what his potential can be. So, and everyone else looked tough, So I mean, some of those guys got some good wins, and just mat time experience is critical. So especially this late in the season, if guys aren't in the lineup, just trying to get some mat time is going to be tough to come by going into the last part of our season here. So.
Yeah, then Anthony, heading into the last part of the season here, you kind of entered the lineup your freshman year, and you've kind of solidified that 184-pound spot. So just kind of talk about where you're at now compared to where you were when you came in last year.
I just think I'm a much better overall wrestler last year. I got a lot of good time in with Coach in the summer. We went to some freestyle tournaments out in Ohio, East Stroudsburg. I think that really helped me develop a long way, and now I've done a better job of finding my own style. And when I go out, trying to wrestle in my positions, and because the more time I can spend in positions I'm comfortable in, the higher the percentage that I'm going to win the matches. Just staying in my comfort zone and trying to dictate the pace. And with that, we're just trying to always look to improve, do a better job of that, and really open up more, look for more scores and things like that.
Yeah, and you're 12-12 in the season. You're one of the Diplomats' most consistent performers week in and week out. Just heading into this home stretch, what are some of your goals to kind of finish out the year?
Well, obviously we have a lot of conference opponents, and those are all wins I want under my belt going into conferences. We have some really tough guys coming up, and obviously my goal is going to be to win every single match I'm in. I'm never going into a match thinking I'm going to lose or worrying about what he's done or what kind of rankings are there. I know I work hard and prepare, and I'm going to want to go out and win all those matches and get a good momentum going into the conference tournament.
So you're only a sophomore, and I'm sure your future plans you haven't given a whole lot of thought of yet, or maybe haven't nailed anything down. But you're planning on being a government major, and just kind of talk about what you want to do with that after you leave Lancaster.
I like government because I like policy making, looking at how laws form. I really have a strong interest in the law. I was thinking about maybe going to law school after, looking into becoming a lawyer. I really like the combative nature of the law, how it's almost like wrestling in a way. In wrestling, you do a move, you have to think of their counter and be ready to counter their counter. It's very similar with the law. If you present an argument, you have to be ready for their counter argument, how you're going to counter that argument. It continues to build like that.
Yeah, and then before you leave, what are some of your goals as a wrestler? What do you want to accomplish?
I think the goals like this year, I'd like to be a national qualifier, make it to the NCAA championships in Madison Square Garden. That's been my goal all summer, all year, what I work for every day, and then I'd like to be a multiple-time national qualifier and All-American. I think that's the goal that everyone really needs to strive for. And if that's really not your goal, I think at this level, that's what you should be working for day in and day out.
Great. And then, Mike, this weekend the weather's maybe throwing a wrench in things a little bit, but right now as we stand, you've got Harvard, you've got Brown, you've got Shippensburg on the schedule. You got two tough EIWA opponents. Just kind of talk about those matchups and what you're looking for from your guys.
Yeah, hopefully we're in discussion right now and seeing what we're going to do with the weather, and Saturday looks like a rough day. But so there might be some changes, and we'll definitely let everyone know as soon as we make those decisions. But as of right now, yeah, we have Brown and Harvard on the schedule, and two conference competitions, two important matches, dual meet wise and plus for individually wise. I think the key matchup right now is 141, Harvard 141, and then Rick Durso. I mean, their 41 probably is ranked ahead of us in all the rankings, and Rick they haven't really met yet this season. They've been in a lot of similar tournaments, but haven't hit head-to-head. So that's one we definitely want to get in if the weather allows, we can schedule it, and hopefully come out on top of that one. That'd be a big match for us. But and all the other ones are important though too. Again, those are matches that we're going to see, possibly replacement rounds, getting into that, 3, 4, 5 place finish to get to the NCAAs. I think most of our conference weight classes are going to be taken anywhere between 3 to 5 guys per weight class. So if you put yourself in the podium between 1 to 5, you're making to the NCAA tournament, and then everything starts over again. So that's what we're looking at. It's just trying to get those matches, those head-to-head wins, and see how things fall. But hopefully we can get them in. Rescheduling at this point is going to be tough. We don't want to do anything too close to get the conference. So we're going to do our best effort to try to make this work and get it in one way or another.
Mike, Anthony, thanks a lot for sitting down here with us. Hopefully things work out with the weather this weekend. We'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you.
And as Mike alluded to, we'll keep you up to date on GoDiplomats.com with all the latest weather updates. Make sure you join us here next week when we look ahead to the Princeton match.